Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity, our third quarterfinal, everybody. So, another best of 3 here at the FiSH Bowl Cup, the Korean tournament. 6 Korean teams, 2 Chinese teams, $2,500 as a prize pool. And also completely financed, apparently, by a private person. So, a big shout out to FiSH, who has been sponsoring this event. Hyde organizes it, so we are on the Asian server right now. And we had some pretty awesome games already. Interestingly enough, all of the games that we've seen up to this point were very close. I mean, very, very close. The teams were absolutely on eye level in pretty much every single map. Now we're heading into the first map between the Jellyfish Boys and Team TT. So, Jellyfish Boys, I don't think that's really the name, but if you put the Hangul straight up into Google Translate, that's what you get, and honestly, I'm a fan. Jellyfish is awesome. I think Google Translate calls it Jellyfish Ownership Company or Jellyfish Ownership something. I don't really know. But that made the Jellyfish Boys, and Team TT, on the other hand, I was a little bit too tired to go for another crying setup after we had the kittens already. This is going to be the one. If it makes it a little bit easier for you, you can also call it Team Lockdown. As you can see, Lockdown, Frankel, and Relic are all three playing on the side of the Jellyfish Boys. The Red team, on the other hand, I mean, again, this should be a good one. The entire tournament is featuring a lot of Korean players that are playing or have played in the past in HGC and in other tournaments. People have also been asking a bit about the situation of Korean esports in general in Heroes of the Storm, and to my knowledge, it's more or less non-existent. There's a couple of like privately hosted tournaments like this one every now and then, but outside of that, there's not really a whole lot going on. So Europe is way more developed in that sense, and even North America. Now, with that, we have Vala as a very, very early pick. I mean, Junkrat was banned multiple times in the previous games, so this time he made it through the draft, and he is picked as a first pick priority here on Battlefield of Eternity, which is, from a European perspective, kind of interesting for sure. Plus, in addition to that, we now see that Vala pick. We talked about her a bit in the earlier Best of 3 series, because on Battlefield she was completely ignored, even though you can still play a very, very strong arrow build. You don't have to go for multi-shot. Diablo gets taken out as well, and we get the Grey main ban. If I would pin it down to some of the heroes that are getting heavily focused or ignored in with the meta variations here, Greymane played a lot more here on the Korean side. We have a bit more of a Garrosh priority. Tanks in general, a bit more at the front. One of the heroes that they completely ignore is Uther. Talking about supports, by the way, Lucio also has not been picked yet. Malfurion gets consistently banned. I mean, he hasn't made it. Has he made it in a game? I don't think so. I think it was banned out every single time. And there is Sylvanas, another very, very heavy priority. As is Tychus, by the way. In this case, banned. But he's been first picked multiple times now, too. So yeah, slight differences in the priorities. Hogga is in. Karazim. Garrosh flip into 7-sided strike. Always possible. And then you get Junkrat on top of that, too. And doesn't really seem like we're gonna necessarily see Lucio in this one, but he's seen quite a bit of action in the previous games. Now there comes Chromie again for the poke, going for the range, and last but not least, Lockdown himself, the last one. What is he going to take for our first map in the Best of 3 series? Single elimination system, by the way, so whoever loses here is out of the tournament. The winner advances to play in the semifinals. Semifinals are all Best of 5 matches, and the grand final is supposed to be a Best of 7. And there it is, Deathwing as our final pick. Alright, with that, let's go. Game number 1. Let's fire it up. Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 1, let's go! Lockdown playing Deathwing. We got Relic on Vala. Hebari is playing Diablo, Crow is playing Stukov, and Frankel is playing Sylvanas. On the right side of the map, Spell on Garrosh for TT. We got Hero playing Chromie. KP is playing Junkrat. Wishing on Karazim. And BDG is playing Hogga. What does BDG stand for? Honestly, I have no idea. Trying to come up with something clever. Put myself on the spot here. And then I screwed it up completely. So yeah, I have no idea. Big Dick Gaming. There you go. Best that I can come up with here. Makes total sense to me. So it's a big statement that he makes there. But we'll definitely have a bit of a look of what he can actually pull off. But yeah, that has to be it. I mean, it's the only explanation. It's the only one that makes sense here. So with that, we got our 4 versus 4. And at the top side, it's actually Deathwing, Lockdown on Deathwing, who goes up against Big Dick Gaming with his Pogger. And down at the bottom of the map, the 4 versus 4 is quickly going to be turned into a 5 versus 4 if Deathwing makes the approach. But nah, has to rotate back topside. Was hoping that there was a battle where he can participate, but again, eventually you have to retreat towards the top lane so that you don't miss out on any of the experience. Even with the globe changes that I still hate. When I wrote on Twitter about the globe changes and how bad they are for the game, I mean, the introduction of the experience globes was already an absolute abomination, lowering the skill ceiling and, again, catering to worse players instead of just teaching them how to play the game. People were like, oh, I didn't even know you didn't like it. I was like, how the fuck did you miss that? I've been bitching about it ever since they put it in. So did pretty much all of the players, too, so I don't know. But yeah, Deathwing is trying to drop in, and that's actually a bad move here. I mean, they got the kill. Well, not a bad move. Again, he didn't really know that they already had it, but they get the kill against Garrosh and they get the camp. But now it's a bit of time for BDG topside, who can drop that tower slowly but steadily. So, well, there's that. Get that in. Super easy peasy. On level 1, by the way, we got the Soul Shield. Still more pressure play at the bottom of the map. Lockdown is now staying bot side. And instead we have Diablo that rotated up towards the top. And they went through the entire gate already. So good for them. Terror. Going full Benjamin Blümchen. And yeah, early talents are in for them. So far the Jellyfish boys are looking pretty good. I would say if you are making a prediction, they are the ones who also... hello, Lockdown? Alright, look at him. He goes full fuck it, 1v3, no problem. And then he dies. And yeah. Not like this, baby. Not like this. That was a little bit, yeah, too optimistic. Now, there's a couple of things to talk about for sure. I still believe that the blue team is the favorite for sure in this series. Then again, if you're looking over to Lockdown, he might have thought that he is much more... a little bit stronger than he actually is. Now, that was an int for sure. So, Vala has also gone into a multi-shot build, so she didn't actually go for an arrow build. We've still seen Monster Hunter setups every single time that Vala was picked after the rework on Battlefield of Eternity. Now, Monster Hunter itself switches to a level 7 talent, but you can now endlessly stack your level 1, and you get also the additional arrow hit pretty quickly. You have the double arrow on level 7, sorry, level 4. So you can still get mad value out of it if you're trying to burn down the objective, but they are completely moving away from that and instead just try to get the damage output from Vala on a multi-shot setup, which is kinda interesting. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work for them in the long run, but so far they're doing okay. The problem is they're likely going to lose the objective now, because that thing is low. And Junkrat is just burning it away. I mean, it's grenade after grenade, opens up a path for himself. Sylvanas is now trying to turn it, but they lose it indeed. It's the red team that locks in objective number 1. So they have the first Immortal on the map. Granted, they can't really hold a position around the health globes there either, but the bot lane is now going to be attacked by this. It's a small shield, but again, it's there. So there's that. And let's see what they're going to do. For now, they don't have... I mean, it's mostly going to be... I was about to say Junkrat is going to try and set something up. But there's also Garrosh. There's a lot of displacement that they have. There's a level 7 talent a bit sooner for the Jellyfish boys. And in we go. What else? Sticky Wicket. Lightning Speed is in. They're already driving them away, but they lost the entire wall. And Vala has gone into the hot pursuit. It has 16 stacks now. Not too shabby. I mean, for the team fights, it's kind of nice. Honestly, if you have Vala and you get a lot of multi-shot stacks together, the dream is always to have your opponent in some kind of choke point where that you can just carpet with multi-shots and then get the mad value here. Talk about value. That is a value engage. But Diablo is not able to give them the kill. Nah. He got close though. That was a bit problem for Garrosh. Could still go down here to the bottom of the map and take this one too. But yeah, let's have a little bit of a look. top side, there it is. BDG is currently sitting tight here, going for the objective. I mean, it's one of the mercenary camps, but it's one of the best things that you can do with Hogga. He's just pogging around 6 days a Sunday, and mercenary camps is just no problem for you whatsoever with that hero. One of the best in the game for sure at this point. Alright, luring the steel trap over here. Nicely done by Crow. And here's the ult for Chromie. Okay, let's see what they can pull off now as we're heading into the next objective in just a second. Now, of course, the Shaman camp is also going to pop up soon, and then both teams are going to go for it. But look at that. TT is getting a little bit aggressive here as they're trying to push for the bottom fort. Now, if they can take that down, that would be great. They're getting zoned away quickly, the Jellyfish boys. But Crow, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I mean, the blue team is falling back a little bit. Jellyfish boys seem to be a little bit concerned. I think they need to grow a spine. They need to just come in and really just face the fight, you know? But apparently they want to play this smart more than anything else and wait for the level 10, which to an extent I can understand. But they're starting to lose out on some hit points. It's going to be a race again for the halftime show here. So, yeah. And there it is. Level 10, any moment now. Objective is up, and no Shaman cap has been taken. Now, they have an opportunity to maybe claim it during the halftime show, but both of them are just more interested in fighting, which I fully endorse, by the way. Give me some more battles. 25 stacks for Vala, which is a bit surprising to me considering the map. I gotta admit, Sylvanas, really? I mean, come on, Frankel. You could see that one from a mile away. Not sure what that happened there. Here's the level 10 abilities now, but they're losing out on the objective again if they're not careful. Oh, it's so close! And they lost it again! No! Oh my god, yeah. 7-sided, there it is, and also the Riptire. Only one that holds the ult back for just another second is Stukov, and there we have it. Flailing swipe. It's the second objective in the row that the Jellyfish boys have lost, and I mean, first one already surprised me a little bit. The second one was definitely surprising. Vala with one hit after another. Relic is able to get more and more stacks together for the level 1, but they're still getting pressured on both lanes. The bottom fort is low, and the one at the top likely to fall. Here comes Deathwing though, so they're trying to go for a kill, and this time Hogga gets out and spell. Ah, they still can't get the kill here. So yeah, top fort is falling. Top fort is down, and as it stands, Team TTs takes the early lead. I gotta admit though, it feels like they're a little bit on borrowed time. I'm looking at this game, and the entire time whenever the red team makes a good move, whenever they're starting to take a bit of a lead, the small voice in the back of my head just says, just you wait. Just wait. It's going to turn against them. So maybe I don't have enough faith here. But there's still, it always feels a little bit like just another team fight, and then the boys in blue are gonna take this one and start to snowball it. But for now, it hasn't happened. They won the earlier fight over the camp down here, but this time it is again the red team that takes it and steal the camp away. So now the top lane is getting pressured, the bot lane is getting pressured, and eventually the Jellyfish boys have to make a move, and so far that hasn't happened yet. They're getting 3 stacks on Vala, which is kind of nice. 30 isn't shabby at the 9-minute mark, so that's good. But they lost now both of their structures. Now, there's not really a significant lead in experience for the red team yet, but just having the 2 lanes pushed out is already great for them. So, good on them. The damage output for Varlash is at 14,000, Chrome is sitting at 20, and the red team is taking more and more control over the map in general. So, yeah, good for them. And, I don't know. I gotta admit, Lockdown's team, they gotta step it up a little bit. But, yeah. The Jellyfish boys, they gotta grow a spine. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You gotta take one of those fights and really just like buckle down, go all in on it, and just go for the kill. They've been waiting for a long time for it. I'm also still a little bit weirded out by the Vala build, but again, Korean meta is always different and always was. But they really, really love that multi-shot apparently, even on this map. And it's one of the reasons why they lost the races on the Immortal, but now it seems to look a little bit better at least, now that they're focusing with a full 5-man onto the Immortal, so they got that. At least the halftime show is a win. Also, Vala's damage output obviously increases now that she has more stacks, and she's sitting at 33. But they still need to take this here. And as long as the red team is fielding an entire 5-man defense, it's great for Vala and her stacks. If we're having the late game more so in mind, then that's good for her. Frankel is trying to take Catapult down over here. 7-sided strike on Diablo. They're making the play. Vala with another setup. But this time no hits. And here comes the ult on Tibbles again. Going straight up for the lightning breath. They're pushing them out. Lockdown! And he's dead. Killed by Junkrat. Lockdown is indeed down. And Vala is trying to get some additional damage in. 38 stacks for her. They nearly killed Garrosh. But now it might be the end of Sylvanas. She died and she didn't even get the kill against Garrosh. Hogga is down a 4 versus 3. 40 stacks for Vala. Gloom is in. Vala is at least able to get some hits out here. But now another kill opportunity maybe against Stukov. They're all low, but the Immortal could still be won. And they get finally the kill against Garrosh. Nice. Chromio, of course, is dishing out tons of damage. But now we have Deathwing back to business. They're starting to take the Immortal down slowly but steadily. And it is the Jellyfish boys that are able to finally lock an objective in. Objective number 3, the first one for them. Nicely done. Didn't start off all too well, but now they are the ones going through the top lane with a pretty big shield on the Immortals. So good for them. Yeah, a couple of real sexy setups here. And now with level 13 talents for both teams, and Chromie even having access to her level 16, we have Vala also with a much higher damage output now. The stacks that she got together, super important there for her. And she's now sitting at 41, so maybe she can even get a few more around the fight here. But they want to take the 4 down. They already lost 2 themselves, so getting at least 1 kill in would go a long way. And the bot lane gets pressured too. Lockdown already flying in again. They're pushing them past the fort. Easy peasy. Absolutely no chance for Team TT to make a play here. And with the help of Sylvanas, this is of course an easy one to drop. You should be able to also get some damage done at the gate. Oh, but Lockdown. Lockdown is getting murdered. Considering that he's supposed to be a badass dragon, not so much. Riptide with a kill. Chromie down. Uh-oh. Bad news for the red team. Bad news. Yeah. They are going from TT to QQ as all of them get pushed past the gate. 2 are dead. Garrosh and Chromie have both fallen. And this is the entire front gate that has now been dropped. We also have, 3 kills against Lockdown, by the way. Died 3 times. But on top of that, with the level 16 talents, we now get the punishment in. Multi-shot cooldown being even lower. That's great for them. Potentially more stacks for her, more damage. 48 stacks already as is. Will of the Forsaken is in 2. And off we go. Objective will spawn soon TM, but for now it's all about the camps. And yeah, the bottom fort. Bottom fort is probably the most important thing for them. They still need to be very careful around... Yeah, exactly. around Junkrat. Exactly because of that. You need to be super careful that you're not running into that mine and get just booped back into the opponent's fort. Because if that happens and then Garrosh follows up with the second flip, then you're just toast. You're way too deep. So Lockdown, he's already having a bit of trouble. But with 50 stacks on Vala, you are guaranteed to see her dropping some real numbers here. She might not be the top damage dealer in the game when the dust settles. Chromie, of course, can consistently poke throughout the entire game from safety of the backline. But Vala is going to have a lot of wave clear here to first of all take minion waves down and easily push that out. As the game continues, this is going to be nice for them. Now, the arrow build is still incredibly good, especially if you're only focusing on the objective or mainly on it and you're trying to drop it very quickly. That's what we normally see on this map, so it's still interesting to me that the Korean teams decided to go, in this case at least, to go into a multi-shot build over an arrow build. But as the game continues, they can add the additional wave clear also to the mix. So that is going to be helpful. Now they got Sylvanas, they got Vala, and that's a lot of damage, not only on simple wave clear and siege damage, but also once that the team fights are becoming more and more hectic, getting that multi-shot damage is gonna guarantee you some serious numbers. And that's what's gonna happen eventually. They're currently going for the defense. And here comes the engage. Indomitable is, of course, is still up. Vala with another hit, 53 for her now. And there they go. They still defend this as best they can. And it's Sylvanas that goes for the solo attack against the red team's Immortal. Vala by now on 28,000 damage. easy top damage for the blue team. But Chromie and Junkrat, I mean, the poke that they have is just nuts, and you can't do anything against it. They're pretty much doing what the Europeans do with Li Ming on this map. They're just sitting far away from the Immortal, and they're just poking. And you have no other option than either taking the damage or simply, like, yeah, moving away from it and letting the Immortal tank it. But now that's 50% on the Jellyfish Boys Immortal, and they're coming in again. The grenades are coming through, and this is looking better and better for Team TT. Only thing that we can see from the Jellyfish Boys is the team fight. And it seems like they're trying to pressure Chromie here. Karazim is already helping out a bit. Relic with the damage down here. They're still pressuring them back. Nice ult also from Deathwing. They're trying to get the isolation, and there's the kill against Junkrat. Junkrat down. Kill against Garrosh. Lockdown is able to get away this time, and it is looking better and better now for the blue team as they are focusing on the Immortal to take it apart. That's going to be another kill, and this time the bot lane is the target. They're going to go for another big push to try and take down fort number 2. And on top of that, of course, we now have them in a position where they also took the lead in experience. They are on level 18.5, half a level ahead roughly. Have to take the catapults down here, not a problem. And Deathwing is holding the top lane, so he still has a bit of a pseudo-global setup that he can use too. And off we go. Here's the play. Right there, the move for the bottom fort. That one is gone. The bottom fort is gone. There's no chance to save that. Even with the small shield only available for the Immortal, this one you can kiss goodbye. The question is just what's going to happen around the keep. Can they get something done here? It's a little bit unlikely that they're snowballing it too hard, considering that there's no talent advantage. If you get a kill somehow, it would be great, but you can already tell how the blue team has to be careful that they're not getting flipped over the gate here. So they're staying away as far as they can from all of those Junkrat abilities. But now that the gate is down, they can dive a little bit deeper. And with Frankel on Sylvanas, there's a chance to disable the structures and maybe push this even further. But there's just so much shit on the ground that they gotta dodge out on. 60 stacks for Vala. That's pretty nice. And they're gonna get that keep. Yeah, they're poking it into oblivion. Well done. The keep is down and they're nearly on level 20. So they get the Storm Talons. Vala, what are we going to get from her? It is still the Farflight Quiver. Staying at a distance gets prioritized here. We have the Bolt of the Storm for Sylvanas. And yeah, they can try and take this one now down to steal it away. Since there are Storm Talons, there's just no chance that Team TT is really trying to come in and contest that. Nah. Poke, yes. Commitment, nah. No commitment. No. They're pretty much just like a single guy that's trying to have some fun. Okay, so for now, 33 stacks, 33,000 damage on Vala, and they're going for the second keep. They're using that Storm Talon as best they can, and looking pretty good at it. I mean, with the help of the camp, and Sylvanas just disabling it. Guys, they're taking this. That's both of them down. Both of the camps are down. Chromie, they're trying, but there's a 7-sided against Diablo, and they're going for victory. Frankel gets away, and the Hellgate allows Diablo to escape too. Hogger was moving in for just a second, and then the slap on the side of Stukov, not letting them get in here at all. Now Vala is at 65 stacks, the next camp is coming up, this time we have even talents, but the situation is still the same. The red team doesn't have a keep anymore. No keeps, 20 minutes into the game, catapults will push, and yeah, that's kind of rough. So right now, right here, we got a BDG. I mean, honestly, he has to justify his name a little bit. If you come in and you name yourself Big Dick Gaming, then you have to come through with some big dick plays. And so far, that hasn't really been the case. He's sitting at 27,000 damage. Yes, the siege damage is nice, but what is this? Main specialist? No, my siege damage is awesome. No, dude, you gotta come in and you gotta unleash the Hogger. Unleash the Fleabag. Come in, you gotta spin out of control a little bit and show them how it's done. I mean, no control already locked in, me likey, but we need to get a little bit of party out of Hogger. He needs to come in for those hits. Problem is that now the Immortal is dropping hit points. And, well, there's the next one, and this is not really looking too great. Okay, maybe now Diablo. Goes for the ult, but it... Oh, Frankel! And Hogger! Come on, knock it out! No! No! Sylvanas is dead, but BDG gets away. That's a nice flip. Spell, you monster. Vala down. Great kill. I like it. Okay. That is pretty awesome. TT is dropping heroes on the blue team side faster than a pedophile drops candy. Down at the bottom of the map, the catapults are coming in now. And up at the top, the Immortal gets locked in. Nicely done. Awesome. So, 7 kills to 6. We got the comeback in action. At this point, we have a chance for the red team to take a keep down. And they need to do something here. 7 kills against 6, and if they get the keep, then at least they have an equilibrium up at the top lane and can make sure that the catapults are not pressuring their core anytime soon. But for that, they should also get Junkrat back. Maybe taking that here first would be a nice move. But yeah, that one might make it actually onto the core with the second one moving in. If they of course hope to end here, then that's a different story, but the shield is nowhere nearly strong enough to make a move for that. So I don't know. So start to move in, top side, keep is about to be down, and yes, there's no way they can snowball that to the core unless they get a kill now. If they get the kill against Diablo, that might be a different story. And he gets just pushed all over the place. Chromie went into the upgrade on level 20 with a stuck in a loop, so that helped a little bit. But they push him back out, and now Vala is just starting to take the Immortal down. Nice. 7 kills to 6, no damage on the core, but it opened the game up for sure. Taking that keep down was super important right there. At the bottom of the map already, there's the action coming in straight for the next camp. So as long as they have a bit of a lead and they know where the opponent is, they were hoping to at least get that one locked in as well. And the double catapult that I mentioned a bit earlier never really became a problem because it took too long for them to arrive at the core. So Hogger can deal with it. 50,000 damage nearly for Vala. So there she is. Currently have the push towards the top side. 7 kills to 6 still. And the problem, of course, for the Jellyfish boys is that if they lose a fight now, the game's over. I mean, it's basically true for both of the teams. You lose a battle right now, you lose 2-3 heroes, and your opponent can move on to the core and drop it. Both of them have an option to end the game. Both of them opened up a path. Next objective, of course, will also be fairly strong since we're 23 minutes into the game. And yeah, we'll see how hard that one hits. But that thing is gonna be pretty brutal. Dibbles hasn't died yet once, neither has Stukov. Only hero on the side of TT that hasn't died yet is Karazim. So he's currently sitting at 0 deaths too. The mobility allowed him to jump out every single time that he was under pressure. And the 7-sided strike, of course, not only a great tool to do some damage, but also a nice panic button when you have to move out. The damage output on Vala, on the other hand, is increasing since she's now sitting at 71 stacks. So she is definitely now getting very, very solid damage out, as you can see here in action. So good for her. Immortal spawning, and the camp is going to push to the bottom of the map now. So it's Chromie who tries to take the catapults down here. One gets eliminated, second one on the other hand is moving in, and that's still a lane that is the biggest problem for TT. Top lane is not a concern. Down here, that's a different story. Yeah, and both teams are just going for the race, and the halftime show is won by the red team, so good for them. Guys, they might win this. It's 7 kills to 6, it's fairly even. It looked for, after the mid game, it really felt like it's the blue team that is really calling the shots here, but then once that we had that one battle completely turn it against the Jellyfish boys, it started to look a lot better for TT, and they have all the chances in the world now. They need to deal with the bot lane though, and as Junkrat shows at the bottom of the map, of course the blue team is making an immediate move into the middle of the map to try and take the Immortal down here. Junkrat is forced to help out, which lets the bot lane push even further, but they're starting to get the damage in, slowly but steadily. They don't quite have the poke potential that we're seeing for the red team, but they got Vala, and Vala is dropping these multi-shots now. Still a bit of a weird build for her here, but it's working. And she's hitting heroes with that too. Lockdown has to be careful, makes the engage into the backline right away. Seven-sided. And they're going for all the action here. Chromie barely escaping much. He gets some damage in against Lockdown. Spell and BDG are both low. Beautiful stun from Diablo. Pushes Hogger back in, and that's a kill. Double flip from Garrosh, but he dies too. And the Immortal gets taken. This is not looking good for Team TT. 50% shield on the Immortal. And that is solid. Absolutely solid. 80 stacks for Vala now. Nice consistent stacking throughout the game here for her. Frankel also pushing the damage out, and they were able to just drop them in the last fight with 2 heroes down. The Immortal at 50% shield. This should be a foregone conclusion. It seems that the red team is going to lose their first game in Battlefield of Eternity unless they can somehow... I don't see a way how you defend this. If you have the 5-man, you can push past the Immortal and maybe get the hits in, then maybe. But this is nearly impossible. There's no way. Garrosh is down for another 15 seconds, and Hogger isn't on the map either. Here comes the push. The shield is already gone. The core is falling. Very solid performance here by the Jellyfish boys, but also good showing for Team TT as we have the 1-0 lead for the Jellyfish boys thanks to a victory on Battlefield of Eternity. GG and well done.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2! So, the Jellyfish boys, they have the lead against Team TT as we're heading into map number 2, but I gotta admit that the red team did a little bit better than I expected there. So, good for them. Now, question is, of course, can they force map 3? And we had a lot of series where I thought it would go very different than it did at the end of the day. So, time will tell. But for now, we got first pick, first ban for the Jellyfish boys. So, it seems that Team TT actually chose the map. Maybe they have a bit of a strategy prepared here that they can bust out. But, yeah, time will tell. I would love, throughout the tournament... What? Okay, so apparently that is a pocket pick that they are known for. You don't ban Soljin here unless there's a reason. And even with meta shifts between the regions, I don't see that ban unless you have someone on the other side that is known for his Soljin performance. So there's that. What I wanted to say though is I would really like to see a couple more Battlefield of Eternity matches with the Vala throughout the tournament. Because I want to see if the pick into a multi-shot build on Vala, on BOE, is something that is consistent for the Korean meta, or if that was more so something that the Jellyfish boys pulled off. I mean, technically, you can argue, even if, you know, force of habit, you go into the game, Vala, but, you know, stressed, pick the wrong talent, and you're like, ah, okay, we play multi-shot. Could also happen. I'm not saying it did here, but... could be the case. Either way, I want to see if it's a little bit more consistent than that. So, yeah. There's Greymane. And that is a very, very early Greymane again. We have Hogger up, by the way. So, Sonya is the one that gets banned out. As I already explained a little bit earlier, Malfurion is just not making it in any game, pretty much. He's getting banned every single time. Together with him, either early pick or ban is Tychus. So, no surprise that he's getting eliminated from this one, too. Now, this is still a map where you want to have some extra wave clear, so we'll see how much the teams chip in on that end. But here comes our first double pick, and it is Stukov and Vala. Okay, the cowgirl is in action. And let's see what Stukov can do here. And the first thing that comes to mind, of course, is that you're thinking about maybe even getting a variant in again. At least when you're looking at the European side, you would think about that. It's actually kind of funny because on the European end is a little bit different. Here they focus a lot more on that early Stukov pick, also because Malfurion is consistently banned. Whereas if you're looking at the European meta, it's more so that you're trying to secure one of the tanks for yourself first, and then you follow it up with one of the heroes that can lock the target down further. Which brings me to another hero that sees pretty much no play over here, and that's Brightwing. So the Fruit Fly is not being picked in Korea. Globals in general. I mean, we have seen a couple of maps now, also a couple of bigger ones on the European end. Even Dehaka is making a bit of a resurgence, but no false stats, no Dehaka picks, no Brightwings. The most global hero that we've seen so far was Deathwing, and that was one. So, yeah. Ana with Greymane and Diablo for now. And there's the Mei ban. Okay. Yeah, Mei, of course, depending on how you play it out with Vala, can also get some serious synergy for you. But yeah. Okay, what else? Yeah, double pick. What's the tank? From a European perspective, you would look at Anubarak or Varian. Mostly Varian here, but they go Anubarak, okay. And you got Malthael behind that. So we have the Anubarak engage into the Lurking Arm. Vala potentially could later on even go into the Rain of Vengeance to add an additional stun to it. And Malthael, if he goes for Last Rites, it guarantees you more or less a kill. Unless, of course, there's going to be a Medivh pick on the other side or something like that. And we still need a side laner here. Also, we haven't seen a single Rek'Sai game. Just saying. Rek'Sai is such a staple in the European scene, and here in Korea we don't see him at all, not even a little bit. Instead, we're seeing Jaina, which was also brought back by the Hardos and the Panda. This is actually the third game on Chen that we're seeing. So Chen is a bit more popular in Korea than he is in Europe. In Europe, you have pretty much Stork playing the Panda, and that's about it. Not quite. We see occasional Chen picks, very rare compared to what we are seeing here. But that leaves us, of course, with the last pick for the red team. So, yeah, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Final pick for map number 2. Blue team is in the lead, and once again, Sylvanas makes it into another match. So, guys, let's go. And let's see which team takes the win here. Are we going to see 2-0? Are the Jellyfish Boys winning it? Or is the red team bringing it back? Let's find out. The Jellyfish Boys against TT. And on the left side, the blue team with Frankel on Jaina. We got Lockdown on Chen, Crow on Ana, Relic on Greymane, and Hebali on Diablo. On the right side of the map, Hero on Vala, BDG on Malthael. We got Kepi on Sylvanas, Spell on Anubarak, and Wishing is playing Stukov. And again, makes way more sense over here, but again, Fire at Will as a level 1 talent for Vala. Rework, of course, has made that more or less mandatory unless you're going for a completely different build style with an arrow build, as we see in Europe on some maps at least. And Jaina for burst damage is also kind of cool. They don't have as much lockdown as you would probably like here, but we'll see how they're going to play around it. I mean, they can also play, of course, with the Water Elemental on level 10. Get a bit more control. Just generally, you have some extra slows available, which is always kind of neat. And yeah, Fat Illidan can always slow them down a little bit and jump on them. By the way, Spell is already getting crushed a bit. He's already getting attacked pretty hard here and losing his hit points quickly. Diving into the backline for him, it's going to be interesting throughout the game. So, we got BDG and Lockdown in our 1 versus 1 at the bottom of the map. Lockdown was a little bit overexcited on the first game. His plays with Deathwing were maybe a bit over-aggressive. Dove into his death a couple of times. But right now, as he's playing out the 1 versus 1 down here, might be a bit easier. And I like the sneaky move of Greymane, who says, well, it's time to get the Siege Giants. So instead of going into their Bruiser camp on the right side, which is what the red team is doing, they make the move down at the bottom of the map straight up for the Siege Giants, so that they get the push and assist for Chen. And the rest of the team is just doing the usual, moving between the mid and top lane in an attempt to get more gems together. And of course, if you can, get a couple of hits against some heroes and get a kill. Hero is using the opportunity, just waiting in the bush, turns around, gets a stack on his multi-shot. Everything matters here at the beginning of the game, of course. And yeah, down at the bottom of the map, still a bit of pressure happening with those Siege Giants, and that's exactly the problem. Somebody's going to have to rotate down and help him out, and this is why we see Anubarak on the minimap making the move, and he's not the only one. We're going to try and stun that out. Lockdown, dodges out on it, gets hit, and is dead. 8 gems down the drain here. Or not? No way. No way. Okay, not even close. That was a little bit too close for comfort, my friend. But he is able to make it happen, so yeah, kudos. Now, with the turn-in on both sides in just a moment, I gotta say that he's really towing the line here. Goes on level 4 straight into the Withering Flames. The Bed of Barbs is, of course, in. And yeah, we got maybe a bit of a flank. Nah. They don't get the flank completely set up as they're trying to get some damage. But at the bottom of the map, yeah, Lockdown is also still rotating back up towards the turning point. And it's actually kind of interesting that he gets this one for free. Normally your solo laner is not in a position where he can get the turn in. But Malthael had to move back as it seems, and therefore that was a big opportunity. And the Panda took it right away. Good on Fat Illidan. Big-boned Illidan. But yeah. And Frankel is already moving around there too. Okay, so Relic is starting to make a move. BDG, careful. The stun, the sleep dart. And there it is. Malthael is down. Vala with a couple of nice stacks, but the flank of Jaina gets punished. Oh! Yes! There it is. Nice hit. Poor Vala. That was beautiful. Greymane with a cocktail. God, that would have been such a fantastic escape. Yeah, have a look at this one. I mean, first of all, the kill against Jaina after Malthael goes down, and that it's the cocktail kill right there. So, job well done. Really, really nice move by the blue team. That got a bit scary there for a second. Oh, talking about scary. Yes, the cockroach is dead too. The Khaldor seal of approval. So yeah, awesome. Every cockroach, every dead cockroach is a good cockroach. Yeah, again, still, those two cockroaches having sex in my bedroom is still something that is going to probably haunt me until the end of days. So, kind of nuts. But yeah, anyways, for now we got the move straight to the middle, and I gotta say that with the web weavers now coming down, there's a big opportunity for the blue team to really get ahead here. They already have a half level lead, maybe a little bit more than that if they now get some structures with this. Oh my god, and another kill, really? Oh, not even close. So yeah, if that's a kill against Malthael, oh boy, they would have been able to just do so much here, man, even without it. They are now taking some of the structures down. They are snowballing the experience a little bit further. And a double turn-in with a level 10 ability, that would just be sick city. So now they're starting to come in again with a move onto an Uberak maybe even, now that they got the sleep dart connected. Up at the top, Frankel is able to move out, but they nearly got Jaina here. They nearly got the Dreadlord. So now it's half a level until 20. Gem counts are not really that crazy. There's a turn opportunity for TT, but the blue team just doesn't have enough to threaten it, even if they get their level 10. But of course, if they get level 10 and can force a fight, that's a different story. And yeah, down at the bottom, Lockdown doing his thing. And BDG sitting tight here. They're still going for the camp. So there it is. Go for the throat is picked again. We have the snowman is in action as well. Yeah, of course, lightning breath for them. Panda hasn't made a choice yet, but there is at least the boost. Nano boosted Jaina. That's going to be neat. No turn-in, by the way, for the blue team, despite the fact that they now have 35 gems. They get denied. Snow level 10 on the other side yet. Nice stacking, by the way, for Vala. She's at 29. We're 6 minutes into the game. Well, you gotta get their own level 10 any moment, and there it is. Rain of Vengeance, first of all. There's the cocoon. And here comes the top cack play. Lockdown, looking for it. First of all, Diablo. Spell gets attacked. And they're kegging Vala out. Vala in trouble, but Lockdown in more trouble, maybe? Sylvanas just goes for it. KB with the attempt to kill, but nobody died in that last fight. It was a nice skirmish between the two of them, but that fight didn't yield. Ooh, that's... Imagine him on 16 there. Ooh, that would have been a double stun and a solid amount of damage. But no, didn't get that either. The red web weavers are now going to touch ground next. Half a level lead still for the jellyfish boys. But not enough to really get a lead for the defense. It's not like they have a talent lead or anything. Yeah, the Panda could have nearly gone for another keg play, but we had 5 seconds on the cooldown still left, so nothing that he can do there. Top side, that's where Dibbles is still sitting tight. I mean, technically, you could have gone for some kind of setup with an Apocalypse. Oh, there's the keg play right there. They're trying to go for Vala. Not so much. Vala is able to get out, maybe. Fat Illidan. There's the jump, the vault. And he gets it. Nice. Vala down, and the Nubarak is also dead. They get Sylvanas too. Oh my god, they are crushing them. And that is 4 heroes down. That would have been too cool if he actually gets the kill with the last rights. That would have been kind of funny. But no, they weren't able to do that. The funny thing is, because of all those deaths, yes, there's an experience lead now, but the structural damage is pretty significant that happened here. Because the Web Weavers had so much time on the lanes to do some work. I mean, look at this. They're going to get the fort at the bottom of the map. The fort is down. The fort is eliminated. So yes, you have the experience lead. You got a ton of kills, but you lost out on structures because you dove that hard. And they couldn't do anything about it. And more importantly, there's not a whole lot of gems that were lost by TT. They turned pretty much all of their gems in. Nearly all of them. So the only thing that they lost is a bit of experience. What are you trying to do with the turn-in? You're trying to take structures down. They took more structures down than they would have been able to if it would have been a traditional push defense setup between the two. So it's kind of funny. But that experience lead, of course, is still an advantage that can be snowballed if you're relying on that talent lead and you play around it. And since they have enough gems for a turn of themselves, there's a chance for them to make that work. But yeah, they need to try and snowball this a little bit here. If we could, but it's kind of weird. 4 kills against the red team, and the red team is still in a position where they got not only a lot of structures, but even more of it. Now, I think that's a dead Sylvanas. The slow is in. Does she get the wave back? Ah, they let her get away. Alright. Well, Nano Booster Jaina wants to go for another approach, but yeah, she doesn't get it. Instead, it's the fight in the middle. And there, they can maybe take Vala down. 100 hit points. Not even close. Damn. TT, they are staying alive. But barely. Barely. Now, this is still a heavy aggression through the middle now. They don't have a Sylvanas here. The turn attempt against Diablo, but no. Level 13 versus level 13. And at the top lane, I mean, the one in the middle is already suffering. The fort at the top is in even more trouble. Oh my god, and that's a Nubarak. YOLOing way too hard. Yeah, that's a second kill too. They are going to get him. Lockdown dies. That seems to be a little bit of a theme today. Lockdown is down, and oh my god, hello? Sylvanas! They're getting Greymane. Sylvanas is dead too. The slaughter! Jaina is dead, and the fight continues. But boy, there we go. Vala is down, and the 5-man team wipe. They got the fort at the bottom of the map. They took down the fort at the top, and the only thing that is still remaining is the one in the middle. Full-on 5-man wipe, and just look at this. They are popping like pimples, one down after another. Gems are, of course, now all lost at this point. No turn-in opportunity anymore for the red team. Big, big battle happening there. And it's gonna end the fort in the mid lane too. Another fort is down. Yeah, and that all of a sudden changed things pretty dramatically, because that's a 1.5 level lead for the Jellyfish Boys with 12 kills to 4. And on top of that, of course, better structural position on the map. Not the biggest structure lead, but it's right there. And thanks to the level 16 that they have, it's a free boss. Oh yeah. Free boss right here. Also, the Tempered by Discipline. That's a little bit weird. Not what you Tempered by Discipline is not what you normally see. It's more quick match talent than anything. But maybe after the 16-20 synergy, if they get there, they can do something with it. Not really all that common. Traditionally would have expected Gloom here, especially considering what's available on the other side. With the Lightning Breath, Greymane, the cocktail kill that he got against Vala earlier, plus Jaina. So, well, we'll see. They want to get a keep here, of course. There's Manticore at least in 16 now for Vala, so that's going to help out with that. Epic Enter is also in, so Nubara can now try to epically enter the backline and try to stun someone out. So that's definitely an option for him. But the keep is down. And that is creating more and more pressure against... Oh, talk about pressure. Pressure, yeah, the unstoppable frames. Nicely done. That was important. The Will of the Forsaken saving her ass. And Lockdown, is he going to get punished? Lockdown? Yes, he gets locked down. Okay. I mean, they're farming him a little bit. Jaina is nearly done with her quest talent. Nearly done with the baseline. 42,000 damage for Vala. Easy top damage for her in the game. 26,000 for the Panda. Knockdown might have died twice, but he is the second highest damage dealer. No, actually, he's not the second highest damage dealer in the game. He's not even close to being the second highest damage dealer. But the one thing that is definitely true is that he is currently the highest damage dealer on his team. What does that say about Jaina, though? I mean, come on, girl. Show us that finger of frost right there. Okay. Well, another 4 down. Core has also taken a bit of damage because of the boss. It's down to 97 for the red team. But there are the web weavers. Can they snowball this a little bit? We can try. And yeah, that one is a quick one. These web weavers, they're spawning so far back on the lanes. I would be surprised if they do a lot of damage. I guess opening the wall up is what you can hope for. More than that, probably not. Yeah, probably not. So right there, with the help of Jaina, you should be able to burn this one down. Especially since they, of course, also have Greymane. Once that is close enough, here we go. He jumps into the walking form and just rips it to shreds. And that leaves it with a push at the bottom of the map. 64 stacks on the other hand for Vala. Vala is really stacking well. We're 14 minutes in and she's at 64 stacks already. Very consistent pressure from Hero here throughout the game. And he is top damage for a reason. Now, tempered by discipline, maybe in those fights, that's a sustain that he needs. But of course, once we're having him with his level 20, that's going to be even more impactful. But for now, it's just all of that multi-shot damage that really comes through here. And they're already going for the camp down at the bottom of the map, getting siege giants in. They're still level behind. And there's a ton of opportunity also now for the Jellyfish boys. Let's not forget about that. Jellyfish boys, they got a chance. Yeah, got a big chance here. So, what are we getting? Yeah, moves through the bot lane. Try to get level 20. I'm trying to get the level 20 for now. Damage output, 50,000 for Vala. And we got 27,000 for that. That's, by the way, a shitty mount. Talking about shitty mounts, that mount was always like, eek. If you go for the Sailor Moon style, then go for the Cowgirl. I mean, money pick all the way, but at least get some synergy. I mean, that is just not working, baby. Okay, lockdown again. He's kicking out of harm's way. That's pretty much it. Malvale, on the other hand. Frankel wanted him. You can tell. And there's the quest completed. Okay, so that keeps Jaina a lot safer. A lot safer. So now she has the ice block available. And they have the level 20. So after we got the enough to share, the combo strikes, now the purifying brew, they can go for the turn-in. And they're gonna get the turn-in. And that is where the real danger lies. Losing another keep, especially when it's at the bot lane, would be a big problem for TT. And I like how they're pushing the lanes out immediately. But they're already trying to invade this one as well. And they're getting it, aren't they? No, not like this. Nubarak, no. Oh my god, not like this, baby. You don't want to hold the camp that long. That is not helping. Yeah, so they steal the camp away and they get the Anubara kill. That can't happen. That just simply cannot happen. Now the push through the mid lane here, and they gotta face the music, and this is just a disaster. Anub is down for another 30 seconds. This is a nightmare for them. They outplayed themselves just now. They absolutely outplayed themselves. Level 20, yeah, they're gonna get it, but I think they're also gonna suffer the second map loss right here, right now. The Jellyfish boys, they have too much momentum on this push, and the core shield is falling extremely quickly. Now, they try to buy themselves a little bit of time with Stukov and the big slap, but the shield is already down, and the core is falling, and Malthael is about to get wrecked. Malthael is down. He has the 20, so it's going to be back to business. At least there's that. Greymane, 40% on the core. I don't think they can end. Lockdown is trying, though. Lockdown is trying. And, yeah, he kicks out too late. Diablo is also dead, and they're still chasing. You got to be careful that you don't lose too much here. That was a good move, on the other hand. Nicely done by Anna. So, is the bottom keep also going to fall? Spoiler alert. Yeah, it is. Bottom keep is down as well. Anubarak. Anubarak? Did he dive after them? Anubarak died. Okay. That's... really? Okay. So instead of having a big lead now in numbers, there's a 4 versus 4 on the map. Okay, so all keeps down, 20% on the core. I guess the only play you can make is for boss. The problem is if the Jellyfish boys just simply go for the core, they win the game. And they've already taken the camp here. I don't even know why they're going for this. Why would you even go there? Of course you can win this fight, but just go core and end it. Push the lanes out. You don't want to lose anybody now. There's the Hellgate, straight into the slap. Yeah, maybe not. Greymate, Diablo. Why? Not like this. Chen is back up. And they have to deal with all of that now. God, what a game. What a game. 18 minutes in. And yeah. I mean, the best thing was honestly Diablo with the Hellgate engaged straight into the swipe. I mean, Stukov was mid-swipe, mid-hit, mid-slap as Diablo jumped in. And it was just like, yeah. Can you imagine you acquire the ability to teleport, right? And then you teleport somewhere and the first thing that happens is that you get whacked around the face. That's the first thing that happens. By the way, the second thing that happens is that they're losing the game because they're just going for the straight-up attack. I mean, that was a given. The Jellyfish boys with a 2-0 victory against TT as they move on to the semifinals.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.